What's up, y'all? I'm gonna be doing a reaction video to why Epic Mealtime eventually failed. I always honestly wondered what happened to these guys, so I guess today we find out.
The idea in the beginning was original, unique, intelligent, simple, and perfectly suited to the YouTube platform. To create the most ridiculous, massive, unhealthy meals out of foods that were already ridiculously unhealthy.
No vegetables. Anything that could be considered a vegetable.
I even had the bacon and bacon and bacon and bacon shirt back in the day. I'm pretty sure that's from these guys.
Don't want it on the burger.
Fast food lasagna, Turbacon Epic Thanksgiving, and Maximum Mac and Cheese all gained well over 10 million views, helping them to maintain their position as one of the top 10 most subscribed channels for a whole year back in 2012. However, a quick skim over Epic Mealtime these days reveals that the channel has unfortunately been unable to retain their viewership over an extended period of time. The approximate 50,000 views on each video is in stark contrast to the channel's heyday, with many of these 50,000 views likely coming from former fans, either coming back for a hit of nostalgia or to investigate what on earth ended up happening to Epic Mealtime and why the channel's
That's honestly the only reason I'd go back. That's for nostalgia purposes.
extreme viewership eventually floundered. Because in the beginning, everyone was talking about them on YouTube, Facebook, Reddit, and even in real life.
Yeah, dude, I remember back in the day, I would talk about these guys all the time. I loved Epic Mealtime. I thought they were so wacky. I loved their personalities of just acting like total Sigma chads for no reason.
Which was the first thing that gave them a massive advantage over every other YouTuber. The Gamer from Mars mentioned a similar phenomena around 4 years ago in his video talking about the group.
I remember back in the 10th grade, whenever there was a new episode of Epic Mealtime, all the kids would come to school the next day and discuss the creation they had made.
On the exact opposite side of the world over here, it was the same story. The first thing you wanted to do after you discovered Epic Mealtime was tell your friends and family about this channel that made the most outrageous food imaginable. For some reason, Epic Mealtime just generated more word of mouth discussion than what felt like any other channel at the time.
Tell your friends to watch epicmealtime.com.
Really did though. I remember that it used to be talked about all the time by my friends and all that shit, so yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see them kind of fall off the face of the planet.
And obviously, as their food challenges got crazier and crazier, discussion surrounding the Epic Mealtime channel got crazier and crazier. In the process, the channel would implement a unique, recognizable style to the videos, where Harley Morenstein, the creator and host of the channel, would take on an overly serious, borderline rude persona.
15 Baconators. What? 15 Baconators.
Alongside recurring characters such as Muscles Glasses, whose whole shtick was basically just to stand there looking tough. Additionally, to add extra fuel to the fire, each episode
Muscles Glasses was definitely always my favorite, dude. I just love him as a character.
would feature a high quantity of Jack Daniels and bacon strips, which, similar to Russians as mentioned in the previous video, were just a weird, unrelated, random pop culture trend or meme back in 2011.
Tyler, bacon. You love bacon. Why'd you love bacon?
I don't know. Bacon is the greatest thing ever.
The video format was also set up in a way that naturally lent towards success, in that there was always some reason to watch each and every video until the very end. You wanted to see what the calorie counter would get up to at the end of the video. You wanted to see what the final food creation would look like at the end of the video, and you wanted to see the interesting ways in which they would eat the food at the end of the video. Channels weren't
Those are a lot of really good ways to keep you watching.
as sophisticated back then to the point that they'd try and deliberately get you to watch until the end of the video, as is common these days. So when the format naturally forced you to watch the whole thing, it was an unbelievable advantage. With way above average levels of word of mouth, unique recognizable branding done alongside an entertaining video style, all nestled within an unbelievably perfect format that forced you to watch each and every episode until completion, very few competitors stood a chance against Epic Mealtime.
Now begs the question, why did it fall off though? I mean, it seems like a formula that's timeless, honestly.
After only 9 months on YouTube, their channel achieved 1 million subscribers faster than any other YouTuber up until that point, and only a year after that, Epic Mealtime was up there with the other founding fathers of YouTube, such as FPS Russia and Shane Dawson, which then opened up the opportunity for an Epic Mealtime mobile game and a spin-off TV show called Epic Chef.
They had a mobile and a show? That's crazy.
With a presence held in every corner of popular culture, Epic Mealtime was on top of the world. However, with so much success gained in such a short period of time across a friendship group of up to 10 different people, disputes and arguments between the crew began to unravel the channel's
Now that makes sense. It's always because of relationship problems.
Unbelievable success.
Juggling the politics was always the one thing I did not like to do and I didn't enjoy.
As 2013 rolled around, fans began to notice that it was becoming less and less common to see the whole Epic Mealtime crew together as a group in any of the videos. One article written by New Rockstars made a comment about one of Epic Mealtime's recent videos, stating that the strangest part of the episode was not the bizarre monstrosity of a meal that had been created, but rather the fact that Harley Morenstein was appearing in the video by himself. The reason for this would eventually come to the surface, and was what you might call unfortunately predictable. Behind the scenes, some of the people within the group weren't exactly getting along.
You know, I went through a period on Epic Mealtime where, you know, things are like getting difficult with personal relationships and it's becoming very taxing mentally.
Two of the most infamous recognizable crew members, Alex Peralt and Tyler Lemko, each had a falling out with both the creator of Epic Mealtime, Harley Morenstein, and his brother, Darren
Man, how could you get rid of muscle glasses like that? It's like, how do you let it all really go to your head?
Morenstein, who had also been a co-creator of the channel. When interviewed on the topic, Alex Peralt, who played the character of Muscles Glasses, stated, "Essentially, I felt like I wasn't being treated fairly considering the value I brought to the show. Other than Harley, no other member of the crew had any ownership of the company. There were many promises made over the years that were not kept. It got to the point where I couldn't trust Harley as a friend and Harley and his brother as business associates." Later, Harley would explain that Alex Peralt had been a salaried actor who was simply paid to play the role of Muscles Glasses.
You got paid to eat bacon, and that's why I had a big issue with like the falling.
No, he brought a whole character and personality to the show and made it that much more entertaining. Like, there was value there. It wasn't like your personality and your character that you brought to the show. I'd say it was way less valuable and meaningful than what he did, honestly.
Yeah, because I was like, dude, man, one day a month we film you in like 4 different bacon strip shirts to make it look like 4 different episodes, and then you're gone for a month and you get a salary.
But with Muscles Glasses being such an integral part of the show, perhaps Alex felt entitled and was possibly even promised a piece of the business, or simply more money for his involvement, a promise that, as mentioned in the previously discussed interview, may have never been delivered on. From Harley's perspective, he stated that toward the end of their relationship, Muscles Glasses became somewhat unimportant for the show to continue, yet he expected to
Muscles Glasses was the that's probably why I stopped watching it, because there was no more Muscles Glasses. He was like an integral part of the show.
be paid even more than Harley himself.
It was like 6 months of a back and forth of essentially asking to get paid more than myself and anyone else got or anything like that. And after 6 months of like discussing it, I was kind of like, at one day I woke up and I was like, yo, you haven't been on for 6 months and the show's still going on, so I'm not so worried about your leverage because we're still existing. I was like, bro, let's not beat around the bush. You get paid to eat bacon once a month. Like, relax. Like relax with all this.
Tyler Lemko agreed with Muscles Glasses, stating that he had left for the same reasons, however also added that business just got in the way of it being fun. You could almost feel the truth of this statement as their channel got increasingly more popular. Harley stated that at times, specifically when the team moved to LA, the videos were becoming a chore or a job, something he needed to do for the sake of paying his employees as opposed to a fun project as it had been in the beginning.
I kind of got to this place where I'm like, it's a job, gotta do it. And I go back and watch some of these videos, I'm like, I see that moment where I was like, yeah, gotta do my shit, because if I don't do it, you know, people aren't gonna have jobs.
During the initial months of the channel, it was just a group of dudes who seemed to be making the videos because they genuinely wanted to see nothing more than what kind of monstrosity they could come up with for that specific week. But as time progressed, that bunch of bros just trying to make the stupidest thing possible vibe just kind of went away. By 2014, not long after the channel was one of the most popular on YouTube, they'd even put out numerous episodes where Harley,
Damn, that's only like 2 or 3 years after they were created.
the host of the show, didn't even appear and was replaced by other members of the crew, like they were just making the food because they were paid to do so, while Harley was probably out handling other things related to the business side of the channel.
There's like so much more going on and infrastructure happening beyond just me being like, yo, I'm in the kitchen with the camera, boy, get at me.
Going too hard on the business side of things can really take a hit on the channel's level of fun and homely relatability, which may have happened in Epic Mealtime's case, judging from Tyler Lemko's comment of business just got in the way of it being fun. However, it's kind of hard to blame Harley and the Epic Mealtime channel for going more corporate and wanting to up the production value, because the production value might have been one of the only things they could change. The format was extremely limiting. We mentioned earlier that cooking a big meal to completion proved incredibly effective in getting the viewer to watch each and every video until the end.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't even have to go with all this crazy formats and all this crazy presentation. Just do what you were doing before, and that's why people watched it in the first place.
But for the very same reason, it was incredibly simple to replicate and there was barely anything they could do to make the format novel.
The show's not like it's like a novelty anymore. There's many channels that do the exact same thing, essentially.
They could use a new recipe to cook a new meal for every single video, but beyond that, the room for variation was limited, resulting in unavoidable repetitiveness, which then began to show in the video's average monthly viewership. By late 2013, long after the departure of Tyler Lemko, Muscles Glasses, and approximately 3 years after the channel posted their first video, the channel's monthly viewership declined to approximately 10 million per month, where it would stay for the following 3 years. Despite the drop, Harley hadn't lost any passion for the project.
Hey, 10 million's pretty dang good. I'm at 0 views right now. I'm still rocking, you know.
He'd upload a new Epic Mealtime every single Tuesday for 5 years straight. However, the drop in views did mean that making the videos financially feasible was becoming harder and harder.
YouTube isn't in a place where spending $1,000 with, like 5 employees making an epic meal makes any sense anymore. You know what I mean?
With each video costing approximately $1,000 for supplies and probably another $1,000 again, if not more, to pay for his 5 salaried employees, getting the numbers to stack was increasingly difficult with a dwindling view count. If each video was costing them $2,000 and we use a standard ad rate of say $3 to $4 per 1,000 views, each video would have to be gaining more than 500,000 to 700,000 views just to break even, a number that the videos wouldn't always reach in 2015. Harley did mention that they had food sponsorships and merch sales to assist in making the videos more financially feasible, but with a slow yet continually declining view count, it was unknown as to how long the videos would be feasible for. However, there were additional things that were also going negatively against Epic Mealtime.
They should have never made this into some sort of corporate stuff. They should have just stood with what they were doing. They shouldn't have ruined their friendships. Well, that's just a shame, it really is.
The insane word of mouth that they'd experienced in the beginning had dried up substantially as everyone knew about the project. It wasn't cool to talk about it on the schoolyard anymore. The weird popular culture obsession with bacon had well and truly passed, yet was still a staple of their brand, which gave the channel a bit of an outdated feel, almost like the videos were a tribute to what the show used to be, as opposed to a show striving for a fresh
Yeah, I mean, it does remind you of 2012 a little heavy.
Updated production. Epic Mealtime also swapped out the intensity that had kept their content interesting in the beginning for blander, more relaxed, docile videos that felt like they had less energy invested into them.
Big Wally, Big Wally!
Wow. That is so sweet. I'm eating the sesame seeds and they taste Dr. Peppery. Do I have sesame seeds in my beard?
All of this in combination with the fact that it was really just the same video being made over and over again with different foods, dropped the viewership to approximately 2 to 4 million views a month throughout 2017, and with a continually dropping view count and the channel approaching 10 years of age, Harley began to think about ending the show entirely.
There is a rumor, pretty confirmed, that you're shutting down Epic Mealtime on in October of 2019?
Yeah.
The main reason for this, as Harley explained, was due to the age of the show, also implying that the cooking had become monotonous.
Now we're coming up to the 10 year and I'm like, I don't even like cooking, bro. No, I'm kidding.
When October 2019 rolled around, the date at which Epic Mealtime was to end, the channel's content changed slightly to eating the whole menu challenges, as well as the display of cheap or expensive food. However, it slowly changed back to cooking up massive meals similar to the early days of the show. Overall, the channel just feels a little bit outdated. The thumbnails feel a couple of years behind, and the video page looks a little inconsistent and unstructured when compared to the early days of the channel. However, Harley seems like an incredibly driven, success-focused individual with a high degree of personal responsibility who simply found himself imprisoned within a video format that unavoidably became repetitive. He's taken the fall of his channel on the chin and is therefore simply grateful for the opportunity to have been a big name in the early days of YouTube, an attitude that we can all without a doubt appreciate as commendable.
I never expected it to go so long.
I mean, yeah, it's good that he made it so far, and it's good that he's humble about where it ended up becoming. And about he's not taking it too hard. It's a shame where it ended up. I just honestly wish they stood with what they were doing instead of trying to switch it up. And that's why they probably lost success, but also, and there's probably only so much you can do with that format anyway. So, I mean, anyway, see you later.